Welcome into DRF Daily. It helps when I add myself to the stream. So here we are on DRF Daily, DRF Sportsbook's betting live stream coming at you each and every day that there is football. We hit 3-1 last night on our best bets for Thursday night football. We were off on the Saints we thought the Saints could pull it out on the money line there. Looked good with them back-to-back pick sixes. Didn't result in anything too good, but we hit on all three of our player props. Today, we're breaking down a college football slate that involves a Conference USA showdown between UAB and Western Kentucky tonight, Friday night. And then we're breaking down two ranked matchups for tomorrow's slate of amazing college football action. I can't wait to get into it. And let's just get right on into it, not even wasting a beat. UAB takes on Western Kentucky. UAB this season looking like a solid program, along with Western Kentucky. UAB coming off of a close win against Charlotte last week, 34-20. Charlotte, one of the worst teams in the nation. Kind of wish the Blazers blew them out a little bit more than they did. However, they were able to pull out the win. Two teams that are very similar in EPA, expected points added. Western Kentucky 10th in the nation in EPA, 17th in offense, 24th in defense, but they've only had one real key win, which was against Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is the same team that took out Miami down in Miami earlier this season, and they've had some tough losses to Troy, UTSA, and Indiana. Really the only one, though, that is leaving your head scratching, as ironic as it is the Power 5 loss to Indiana. Came in overtime. Both Troy and UTSA, really solid programs. UTSA, I've been high on them all season in Conference USA, where Troy, making their presence known in the Sun Belt West, nearly took down App State and picking up some key wins. So not terrible losses to Troy and UTSA. UAB on the other side, 15th in expected points added, so very similar teams. They have a slightly better offense, 13th in EPA this year are the Blazers, 43rd though in defense. Western Kentucky, more of the complete team. UAB, though, the reason that they're so high in offense is because of their offensive potency. I mean, this is a team that scores 35 points per game, but they do it with an efficient offense. 7 yards per play. They get 451 yards per game off of 64 total plays. So, I mean, it's a real potent offense, this Blazers team, but they're on the road. They're 1.5-point dogs, and they're going up against a Western Kentucky team that can sling it. Western Kentucky averages more yards per game, nearly 500, 490 yards, but do you expect anything less? And you expect anything less out of one of the most potent passing attacks in recent memory over the last few years? They averaged 345 passing yards per game. Remember when they had Bailey Zappi, and now Bailey Zappi's tearing up the NFL with the New England Patriots? The key, though, in this game might be Western Kentucky's rushing attack. UAB does not have a good rushing defense. They're 112th in the nation in EPA in rush defense. They're not efficient at stopping the run. Western Kentucky averages 145 yards on the ground, 4.8 yards per carry, which is a really, really solid number for a team that likes to rely on the passing attack more. They average 30 rush attempts per game, 44 pass attempts, so about a 60-40 split in favor of passing for the Hilltoppers. And our power line likes Western Kentucky -9 in this one, so that's why I'm all over Western Kentucky at -1.5. Our estimates both like Western Kentucky to win and cover, and it likes them all the way down to -9. So if you can get Western Kentucky at -1.5, I'm clamoring for that all day, every day. And look at that breakdown. 88% of the public is on UAB. I don't think they realize that UAB, for every advanced metric, is the worst team in this game. Western Kentucky comes into this one 4-3 at home. Yeah, UAB's 2-1 against the spread and straight up against Western Kentucky since 1992, but I don't think that matters. Western Kentucky, I believe, is the better team. They have the better overall offense. Yeah, UAB's really efficient. They're potent, but I think Western Kentucky is the better team, and give me the Hilltoppers at -1.5. Moving on from that game, it was a quick breakdown of that Friday night game, but I feel a lot better about UCLA Oregon. This is going to be a wonderful top 10 Pac-12 showdown, folks. UCLA comes in undefeated on the year. Oregon comes in 5-1. Both teams 4-2 against the spread. Look, this is UCLA's just second road game of the year. They won and covered their other home game against Colorado in Colorado. But this is going to be a tough game for the UCLA Bruins. They're going on the road to a very hostile environment against Oregon. But I think they can get this done. The key is UCLA is 9th in EPA this season. Oregon is just 21st. Oregon's had some doozies of offensive performances, and I'm using doozies in a bad way. There's been some times where you leave the games scratching your head. Oregon, game 1 of the year, they only mustered 3 points against a good Georgia team, but I don't think that Georgia team was that good. Oregon's been able to battle back, win the rest of their games, and now they're sitting there with 1 loss and number 10 in the country. I think UCLA, though, is the better team. They're ranked higher. They're +6 on the road. It's going to be hard going into a hostile environment and picking up the win, but Chip Kelly knows how to do that. He's 19-2 against the spread in road games after his team committed 1 or no turnovers on the game. Not only that, our game estimators, Estimate 1 and Estimate 2, are on UCLA not only to cover, but to win. Our power line also thinks there's too much. The value just isn't there for Oregon. If it was -4, our power line would be all over it. But our power line likes Oregon -4. So if you're feeling good, go UCLA +6. I think UCLA keeps this one close. They might not be able to pull this one out. But, I mean, Chip Kelly's really solid, 19-2 against the spread in road games after committing 1 or less turnovers. Oregon also struggles against teams that complete 62% of their passes, and that's UCLA for you. UCLA has a Heisman frontrunner. UCLA's looking really solid. Oregon's 2-7 against the spread the last 2 seasons against teams that have a 62% or better completion percentage. And like I said, UCLA is much better in terms of being an efficient offense, being an overall efficient team than Oregon. UCLA's 9th in EPA. Oregon's 21st. I don't see a scenario that this isn't a close game. Oregon might be able to pull this one out, but I don't see a scenario where Oregon runs away and wins it by 7 points or more. Look, 56% of the public is on Oregon here. Oregon's number 10, -6. This feels like a fishy line, right? It opened at Oregon -6. It really hasn't changed much. At one point, it got down to Oregon. I got up to Oregon -6.5, but it's really just hovered around Oregon -6. That's probably a little bit too rich for my blood. I'm going UCLA money line at +190. UCLA this season, if we look at their schedule, they've rattled off some big-time wins, taking down Colorado at Colorado, taking down a ranked Washington team, taking down Utah. Utah just beat USC last week, and they're finishing their season off with some doozies at Oregon and home against USC. Those are 2 big games. If this is an Oregon team that wants to, a UCLA team that wants to find itself in the conversation for New Year's 6, well, it's already in the conversation for New Year's 6 bowls, but in the conversation for the potential college football playoff. We haven't seen a Pac-12 team in that, I think, for a while, and UCLA might be able to do that, but they need to win this game. It's going to be tough going on the road in a hostile environment, but with this team that, 6-0 straight up, 4-2 against the spread, I mean, they score 21 points per in the first half, over 500 yards of total offense. They complete a very high percentage of their passes at 74%. This is a good team. UCLA is the better team. The question is, how much does home field advantage go into this? How much does home field actually matter for Oregon? And I don't think it matters all that much. UCLA, they haven't been road tested this year, but if they want to be in a New Year's 6, if they want to find themselves, more importantly, in the college football playoff, this is a must-win. Give me UCLA. Screw the +6. UCLA money line. I'm going with the estimates. I'm going with our game simulators. UCLA money line at +190. And last, but certainly not least, number 20 Texas takes on number 11 OK State. Oklahoma State comes into this one +6, and boy, oh boy, is the public eating that one up. They're the higher ranked team, and normally when you see that, the public's going to be all over them if they're higher ranked and they're home underdogs. Look, folks, I get it. This is a fishy line. How is Oklahoma State +6? 72% of the public thinks that same way. But it's because Texas is the 26th most efficient team in the nation. Oklahoma State is 63rd. You don't see that type of discrepancy all that often between two Big 12 teams that, this game tells me Texas all day, every day. Texas is ranked so low because of the Quinn Ewers injury. He's back. I mean, they picked up a big win over a good Iowa State squad last week. Oklahoma State's really good too. Don't get me wrong. Oklahoma State, top 15 team in the nation, not just because they're ranked that, but because they genuinely are. Our power line also thinks this is 12 points. It's wrong. 12 points by 12 points. Power line likes Oklahoma State -6 in this one. I got to disagree. I think our data is using some stuff with Quinn Ewers being injured. And Steve Sarkisian, he's been solid with Texas as a favorite of 3.5 and 10 points. He's 16-5 against the spread. Texas has the better point differential. Texas has the much better defense, and that might be what this game comes down to. Folks, Texas averages just 18 points allowed per game, where Oklahoma State allows 28. Oklahoma State does have the better offense, but could that be a result of who they've played? I mean, look at who they've played. Central Michigan, Arizona State, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Boom, boom, boom. That's 30. I mean, come on, that's not even great. And then at Baylor, that's a little bit tough. Texas Tech, all right. TCU. Oh, look what happens against a very good TCU team. They lose. And this is another good Texas team. Give me Texas -6 in this game. Texas is going to win. Texas is going to wipe the floor with them. This is much like our UAB Western Kentucky game. 73% of the public is on Oklahoma State, folks. Oklahoma State is not covering this spread. Texas is so much better than the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, our washed up walk-ons boost over at DRF Sportsbook, it's on Oklahoma State to cover. That's at +110. The washed up walk-ons crew believes in the Cowboys, the number 11 Oklahoma State Cowboys. I'm here to tell you, do not believe in Oklahoma State. Hammer Texas -6. They're the better team. They're the better offense. And when we're talking efficiency, they're the most efficient team when it comes between these two. And I know that's only two, so why did I say most efficient? Texas is 26th in EPA. Oklahoma State is 63rd. Come on, folks. It's Texas all day, every day. -6. Give me the Longhorns. Texas is back, baby. I mean, Texas is coming out. Since Quinn Ewers is back, they've rattled off 2 wins, an 18-point win against West Virginia. I believe 3 games, an 18-point win against West Virginia, 49-0 schlubbing of Oklahoma. And you're telling me Oklahoma State's a better team than Oklahoma? Come on, they're roughly the same. Give me Texas -6. The Longhorns going to move to 6-2 and be in the driver's seat for the Big 12. So that's it for today's DRF Daily. We'll be back tomorrow breaking down some more Saturday college football. But before we get up on out of here, our best bets recap. We're on Western Kentucky -1.5 tonight. We're fading the public. 88% of the public on the Blazers. No. Give me the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers going to run the table. The Hilltoppers are the better team in EPA. They're the better defense. And overall, their offense isn't much worse than UAB. Give me Western Kentucky. Hilltoppers all day, every day. Number 9, UCLA is going to go into Oregon and win. You might be calling me crazy. I understand that. But give me UCLA money line, baby, +190. I love it. I think they go in and win. UCLA +6. If you're feeling a little not as aggressive as me, go UCLA +6. I don't see this being an Oregon blowout. I don't see them winning by a touchdown or more. They probably win by 3 or 4 points, if anything. But I think UCLA wins. I think UCLA is a legit team run by a Heisman candidate. UCLA money line. And number 20, Texas -6 against Oklahoma State. It smells like a little bit of a fishy line, right, folks? Number 11, Oklahoma State is a 6-point home dog. Yeah, that's right. Texas is the better team. Oklahoma State, 73% of the public's on them. No. Fade that public. Get rid of that public. Give me Texas -6 all day, every day. So tune in tomorrow around 11 a.m. Eastern, maybe a little earlier depending on when the first kicks are, depending on what games we want to break down. But DRF Daily will be back tomorrow. We're DRF Sportsbook's only betting live stream coming at you every day. There's football. And in the meantime, check out drf.com/sports for all the data we used in this episode and tomorrow.